You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
San Diego in summer means a lot of beach time for these youngsters. It also means palm trees galore. And on a day like today, how about some baseball to go with it? Hyundai presents the Sunday Game of the Week. Today it's the final game of a 3-game set between the New York Yankees and the San Diego Padres from Petco Park in San Diego, California. Hey everybody, Ryan Rucco alongside Ken Singleton. Hope you're enjoying your 4th of July weekend. The Yankees trying to get out of here with a win. They've dropped the first 2 games to the Padres, 2 tight contests, and yesterday they were actually set up for a victory, Ken.
Well, they were. The Yankees actually scored the first run of the ball game. After 5 shutout innings, things began to happen in the 6th. Starling Castro with his ground ball. Well, he's out, but the Yankees are in the lead as Colby Ellsbury scores. But the Padres came right back. Will Kemp with a bloop double down the right field line. Will Myers scores, and the game is tied. Melvin Upton with a hit here, and it looked like the Padres is going to take the lead, but Rob Refsnyder with a throw that was on the money. Kemp is out at the plate. The game remained tied after a review. But then in the 9th inning, bottom of the 9th, first pitch from Andrew Miller, it's gone. Melvin Upton Jr., the hero, a walk-off home run. The Padres win it by a score of 2-1.
Take a look at today's pitching matchup brought to you by People's United Bank NA. See what know-how can do for you. Andrew Cashner, fresh off the DL, will start for the Padres. And the Yankees send Chad Green to the hill, making his 2nd start, Ken. We'll take a look back at that first one from Green.
Let's go back to May the 16th in Arizona, making a start against the Diamondbacks. And it looked pretty good. His breaking ball was good. Fastball was electric. He looked like he knew what he was doing on the mound. In fact, he threw some pitches on the fringe of the strike zone to pick up a strikeout here, but he did go on to lose this ball game. The Yankees lost it. I had a feeling he'd be back in the big league soon, and he's back today.
And you'll see why in today's Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. His numbers at AAA are outstanding. A 1.54 ERA. You see the strikeout to walk ratio. He's allowed 2 or fewer earned runs in 13 of his 14 starts. Well, the Yankees hoping they find something with Green today. We're going to tell you a little bit more about the Yankees right-hander. Our Meredith Morakovich will cover that next, right here on Yes.
for Yankees baseball on Yes. I'm Meredith Morakovitz. Chad Green gets the ball for the Yankees this afternoon. He's making his second career major league start. He's pitching to a 1.54 ERA in the minors. Not to mention he has a 17-inning scoreless streak going right now. Joe Girardi spoke about some of the adjustments Chad Green has made since the last time he was starting for the Yankees.
We think his breaking ball's better. We think his changeup's better. He's always had a good fastball, and he's thrown well in AAA, really well. So, and he understood after his last start that he has to be able to command those pitches, you know, when he's behind in the count, and hopefully he can do that today.
Joe Girardi went on to say that he hopes Chad Green's a little more relaxed, knowing what to expect out there, being that it is his second major league start. Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. When we get back, Andrew Kashner gets the ball. Ryan Ruocco with the call. He'll be joined by Ken Singleton after the break.
On Yes is brought to you in part by Hyundai. Make your summer sizzle. Visit the Hyundai 4th of July sales event today for incredible deals. By People's United Bank NA, where know-how brings you Touch ID to your mobile device. And by Heineken, open your world. A gorgeous afternoon in San Diego. That's a phrase you hear every now and again. And a military Sunday here at the ballpark.
Yeah.
You can see plenty of members of our military in uniform.
Yeah, U.S. Marines and the U.S. Marines on the field. Those are not the Padres in uniform on the field, but
no,
those are standing at attention, U.S. Marines.
Yeah, this is a slightly more intimidating uniform. Yeah. Very cool stuff, and they do this every Sunday. And as the Padres take the field, we will check out today's Yankees starting lineup. It's presented by Lexus. Jacoby Ellsbury hitting very well in interleague play this season, well over 300 leads off. Brett Gardner struggling of late bat second. Mark Teixeira in the 3 spot. Brian McCann, after a day off, will catch him back cleanup. Starlin Castro hits 5th. Red hot Didi Gregorius up to 293, batting 6th. Aaron Hicks will bat 7th. Ronald Torreyes getting the start at third base today. He bats 8th, and Chad Green rounds out the Yankees starting lineup.
There you have a look at today's starting pitcher, Andrew Kashner, who is just coming off the disabled list. He was out with a strained neck since June the 10th. So this will be his first start since then. And big right-hander, 6'6", about 235 pounds. Those are his numbers on the year, 11 starts. 3-5 is ERA, just a little south of 5. More than a hit per inning. 36, he's not a big strikeout pitcher, 36 strikeouts, 22 walks. Let's check out the pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. He was drafted 4 times as an amateur before the Cubs were able to finally sign him, but he was traded to the San Diego Padres in a deal that sent Anthony Rizzo to the Chicago Cubs. Now, I would say the Cubs at this point are a little more happy about that. Rizzo is an MVP candidate. And from 2013 to 2015, Cashner set a major league record here at Petco Park. 21 consecutive home starts where he allowed 2 or fewer runs. That's a major league record he was dealing over a period of 2 years.
We'll take a look at the defense behind Cashner, presented by Geico. A little change to the outfield today for San Diego. No Jakowski. Instead, it's Alex Dickerson in left. So Melvin Upton Jr. moves to center. Matt Kemp in right. In the infield, Jan Hervis Solarte, Alexi Ramirez, Ryan Schimpf, and then Will Myers. And catching Andrew Cashner will be Derek Norris. Now, there was a thought that maybe Norris would get a day off, day game after night game, but this season, San Diego is 2-17 when Norris doesn't play. So they have him in there.
Wow.
Trying to complete the sweep of the Yankees today.
They would like to clone him.
Yeah, I'd say so. Padres are an over 500 team when he plays. Here is Ellsbury. A .353 hitter in interleague play this season. And looks at ball one.
Yeah, Jacoby had a couple of hits in last night's ball game, the game the Yankees lost 2-1. But in doing so, he increased his interleague hitting streak to 14 consecutive games. That's the longest in the major leagues.
And now it's going to be 15.
Didn't waste any time, did he?
He wanted to make you look good with that note. Let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. Yeah, I mean, kind of speaks for itself, right?
Oh my goodness. I remember years ago, Michael and I did an open, and we showed scenes like this in the open. There were people jogging, riding bicycles. There was boats and sailboats, and Michael said, "How do people live like this?" And he's right. It's just about perfect. No humidity, or very low.
Not a lot of bugs,
No.
if any. And as you can imagine, these 3 days have been perfect. And the ballpark has been jammed as Brett Gardner takes ball one.
Well, we mentioned the fact the Yankees haven't been here in 3 years, so they don't come around these parts very often. If the fans in this area want to see the Yankees, they have to drive up north to Anaheim.
I was talking to some San Diego residents before the game who said that San Diego is known as the most populated 4th of July city in the country. They get the, I guess, heaviest increase of tourism on 4th of July weekend.
And it's obvious that a lot of them are baseball fans.
And it is a spectacular ballpark. It's Gardner ahead 2-0. Solarte pinched in at third. Gardner takes outside, ball 3. 3-0 on Brett Gardner.
Well, we mentioned this in the opening game of the series. Last year, the Yankees led the league in scoring in the first inning. That has not been the case this year. In fact, scoring's way down across the board for the Yankees.
And Gardner in particular has struggled of late.
You know, one thing the Yankees would like to see, they'd like to get off to a good start, give Chad Green some runs to work with, make it a little easier. Remember, this is only his second major league start.
Check on Ellsbury, who dives back. There's Chad Green getting ready to go. He's got a little coney in his face. You see that?
Let's hope he has a little coney on the mound, too.
Yeah, in his arm as well. Yeah,
exactly.
Ellsbury started and stopped. Gardner looks at strike 2. And the count now full, and you think there's a chance Ellsbury will be off here.
Yeah, I think he'll be moving. And the fact is, if Gardner can stick a base hit just about anywhere except very hard to left field, that should send Ellsbury to third base. But he's got to you know, it's on Gardner to make contact if it's a strike.
There goes Ellsbury way inside, and Gardner walks. The first two are on for the Yankees here in the first.
So the table setters have set the table.
And here is Mark Teixeira. I was talking with Mark before the game, and he was effusive in his praise of Drew Pomeranz, who shut down the Yankees yesterday, Teixeira included.
You know, I was watching that game. We had the day off, but man, he had a good curveball.
Yeah.
Good enough fastball, excellent curve. And that made me rush to the ballpark this morning, check out his numbers on the year. Opponents are hitting 191 against Drew Pomeranz, and I could see why. He's like he could be an all-star pitcher this year, even with a 7-7 record.
He's a ERA well below 3.
Yeah.
Taken in the game as a spectator today. Teixeira hammers that foul, and it caroms back onto the field of play. Well, that's what Teixeira was pointing out, Kenny, is he said, look, if you get to this point of the season and your numbers are as good as Pomeranz's are, last night was not, you know, some fluke. He's just a really good pitcher.
I would venture he's their #1 guy.
Yeah, with Tyson Ross hurt, Cashner
and Shields gone.
Struggling. Shields gone, yeah. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Good fastball there from Cashner, 95 miles an hour. 1 down.
Yeah, Cashner had been a #1 draft pick of the Cubs way back in 08, went to Texas Christian University, and his fastball can get up there in the mid-90s. He just throws it right by Mark Teixeira. He also has a good slider and a changeup. And as I said, coming off the DL, so you know he's happy to be out there. A strained neck.
His last start back on June 10th. He only threw to 1 batter and then left with that strained neck. Here's McCann after an off day yesterday. Fouled away.
Saw Cashner give a double look to Jacoby Ellsbury. The Yankees with their speed guys on the bases, and you can be sure if Ellsbury takes off, Gardner's not going to be left at the station. He's going to be head for second base. This is a situation where these type of base runners are more apt to try and move up a base on their own with 1 out, trying to get to third base where a fly ball would score a run, trying to be aggressive in the early going.
McCann waves and misses. Good breaking ball from Cashner.
McCann's been on a hot streak lately. Leads all major league catchers in home runs with 13. Good break, good downer on that one. That 12-6 breaking ball right over the top of it.
5 home runs in the last 9 games from McCann. Has hit .364 over that stretch. The 0-2. Lifted in the air to center. Upton a few steps over. Ellsbury tagging. That's just a bluff. Upton has a strong arm, and you don't want to make the last out at third, so 2 down now, and that'll leave it up to Castro.
Cashner made a good pitch with a fastball, got in on McCann. McCann hit a home run here on Friday night. He hit it well. He was a little late on this one. Target's up and in, and that's just about where he put it. And he knew he didn't get it. A high, lazy fly ball. Have you seen a tarp around here anyway, Ryan?
No, they don't keep one in San Diego.
I thought the rule was that you had to have one. Is that it?
It's got to be under there. Yeah.
Oh, that's where they keep it. It's probably been there for a few years. Nobody knows if it's still there. Yeah.
It collects a bit of dust. Well, how many years did the Angels go without rain delay?
Until last year.
Yeah.
They got rained out finally. I think it was 1995.
The weather isn't terrible out in this part of the country.
Well, we talked about hits scoring runs, the ones that really make a team infused with those 2-out hits.
Yeah.
You know, right now the Yankees they need to get something going in this series after dropping the first 2.
The 0-1. Good swing.
Yeah, it was.
But Cashner ahead 0-2. Ellsbury singled. Gardner walked. And a strikeout from Teixeira and a fly out from Brian McCann, and Castro down in the count 0-2.
Castro is looking for his first hit of this series. If you go by the way American League pitchers have been pitching Castro, should be a slider down and away. Try and get him to chase it.
The 0-2. Up and in with a fastball, maybe setting up that slider.
Yeah, exactly. Certainly got his attention, that's for sure. Up and in. And Castro got hit with a pitch in this series on Friday night.
That's right. In the 9th inning of that Yankee comeback that fell just short for Matt Thornton, who can still hump it up there a bit. 1-2 in the dirt.
Yeah, that's the one they wanted him to chase, but it wasn't close enough to the strike zone. We know that Castro does not walk very often. He's a very aggressive hitter. Anything he can reach, he's going to be try and put in play.
And Ken mentioned it. The Yankees could use a 2-out hit here after dropping the first 2 to this Padres team, with a guy about to take the mound who's making just his 2nd major league start. The 2-2. Strike 3. Got him looking 97 miles an hour. And Castro watches it go by. To the bottom of the 1st, and Chad Green we go. Starting lineup. Melvin Upton Jr. leading off with his walk-off home run last night, his 3rd of the season. Gave the Padres a win. Will Myers still hot, bats 2nd. Matt Kemp in the 3 spot. Former Yankee Hervis Solarte bats cleanup. Local kid Alex Dickerson hits 5th. Derek Norris, the catcher, batting 6th. Ryan Schimpf, his bat has come alive in this series. He hit 7th. Alexei Ramirez batting 8th. And the pitcher Andrew Kashner hits 9th.
Well, Chad Green is 25 years old. This will be his 2nd major league start. Of course, this is his 1st ever against the San Diego Padres. He's 0-1 on the year. That loss came against the Diamondbacks back in May. And those are his numbers from that game. 6 strikeouts and 1 walk. Here's our pitcher scouting report, brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. Just recently, he was named an International League All-Star, so he made the All-Star team at AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre. His last 17 innings, spotless. He hadn't given up a run. And in the minor leagues, 81 innings, just 2 home runs allowed in the minors this year.
And facing Melvin Upton Jr. delivers outside ball 1.
But I should amend that by saying that when 4 innings in the big leagues, he gave up 2 home runs.
That's right.
Yeah.
Joe Girardi, talking before the game, said team was very happy with the improvements that he made with his secondary pitches down in the minor leagues since going back down. Still thinks there's some growth to be had there, but no doubt improving, and ahead 1 and 2. Yeah.
Michael and I did that game in Arizona, and I know that Green lost the game. But to me, I saw signs of there's a pitcher there, and it's just a matter of experience. He made some very good pitches with his fastball, maybe not quite as many with his breaking ball.
Swing and a miss. Good start for Chad Green as Upton is down on strikes.
Well,
take a look at the defense behind Green, presented by Geico. Across the outfield, Brett Gardner, Jacoby Ellsbury, Aaron Hicks back in right after Rob Refsnyder got the start yesterday. Teixeira getting the start at 3rd, Didi Gregorius, Starlin Castro, Mark Teixeira, and Brian McCann catches Chad Green.
Speaking of a very good pitch with a fastball, that last one 97 miles an hour, right on by Upton Jr.
And here's Will Myers, a little bit up.
National League Player of the Month for June. And you can see those numbers are excellent. You get the feeling he's going to be playing in his home ballpark in the All-Star game.
He originally, when asked about a nice changeup there from Green, he talked about just wanting to participate in the home run derby, be a local representative, something he wanted to do anyway. But now,
yeah,
he's going to be playing the next day.
Well, June is very close to July. So the fact is that All-Star game is coming up in just a little while here, and they have a tendency to remember the player who was Player of the Month.
And he loves hitting here.
My goodness.
339 at Petco with 13 homers and 37 ribbies. The 2-1. Chop to Torreyes. 2 out.
Good pitch with a breaking ball by Chad Green. I think that's what we'll watch for. You know, Joe Girardi mentioned the fact that the improved secondary pitches. We've already saw a nice changeup that he dropped in there for a strike, mixing things up early in the going, not just rearing back and throwing that fastball 95, 97. Big league hitters can turn that around if you make a mistake with it. Got to keep everybody off balance in this league.
Here's Matt Kemp with 2 outs, nobody on here in the bottom of the first. I was talking with Larry Rothschild a little bit about Chad Green and his repertoire. He said he can throw strikes, really has good command, spots it. His fastball is good. It has movement to it. It's just the continuing development of those secondary pitches. But he likes a lot about Chad Green. 1-0. Swing and a miss, and Kemp was woefully late on that.
Yeah, there's enough fastball there, that's for sure. University of Louisville, which is known as a basketball school. Yankees picked him up in a deal with the Detroit Tigers. Speaking of Chad Green, he and Luis Cessa.
For Justin Wilson?
Yeah, Cessa's in the bullpen today. Might back him up.
Here's the 1-2. He got him looking. Beautiful fastball painting the outside corner. And a smooth first inning for Chad Green. 1-2-3 go the Padres. 2 Ks for Green. Brought to you by Toyota. RAV4 Hybrid is the official hybrid vehicle of the Yankees. So, at Yes Network on Twitter is asked, with Fernando Rodney gone, which veteran do you think is most likely to be traded next by the Padres, and why? Nick Ryan 98 says Melvin Upton Jr. He's having a great season and he could help a contender in need of an outfielder. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees RAV4 Hybrid to keep the conversation going.
Yeah, that's a good point, and I kind of have the feeling that might be correct, that Melvin Upton Jr. would be the next likely veteran to go.
Now, he's still owed a bit of money. He signed a 5-year, $75 million deal with Atlanta before 2013. But, Ken, he's having his best season in a long time.
Yeah.
And if he's going to play like this, then that price tag is not a bad one.
Well, you know, with the Padres, everybody looking for prospects. And, you know, they might be willing to eat some of the money, too. So
yeah. Well, that's been the thought, is if the Padres wanted to deal Upton Jr. or Matt Kemp, especially now more so Kemp, they'd have to swallow part of the money. But Upton Jr. at $15 million a year, the way he's playing, if he can continue and sustain it, that's not a terrible price tag.
Well, we saw Travis Jankowski play center field last night and the night before, and he looks like he might be a good ball player. And they have Alex Dickerson playing today.
Gregorius stays alive.
And Jankowski's not in the lineup, so they do have young replacements if they're looking to go younger and start. Well, they are kind of rebuilding, but to move up in the Western Division with younger players. They are currently last in the division.
0-2 on Gregorius.
Speaking of moving up, there are people who want Didi to move up in the lineup. He's 3 for 8 in this series. In his last 17 games, he's driven in 16 runs. But where do you move him? Because you already have Ellsbury and Gardner at the top. And, you know, he's not really a third place hitter, if you ask me. I think he's going so well right now, you leave him where he is. He's batting, what, 6th today? That's about as high as he's batted all year.
Well, and he has been driving in runs. He has 37 RBIs. I guess, Kenny, if you were going to move him up, maybe you'd slot him at the 2 spot, move Gardner down.
Yeah, but I don't think Didi is a stolen base threat that Gardner is. Let's see where Didi has batted. He's batted 5th one time this year. That's the highest he's batted in the order.
The 1-2. Did he go around? He did not.
Cashner's trying to get the ball in. Now we've seen Didi with 2 strikes. He's hit the ball well to the opposite field, and I think they're trying to crowd him. But there's a danger with Didi pitching him in because he's been quick enough lately to hit some homers.
Gregorius just lays off. That was 96 and just a tad down.
You see Cashner walk off the mound like this should be strike 3. You know what? I can't really disagree with him. That looked like a pretty good pitch. It was high enough. It looked like it had some corner. Quinn Walcott just didn't call it a strike.
Here's the payoff. Gregorius will see a 9th pitch in this at bat.
If you're Cashner, I'll throw 10 pitches to this guy, to this leadoff hitter. I don't have an out yet in this inning, so he's going to have to work a little harder in this inning, and it's all because of Didi Gregorius has fouled off several pitches and run him to just about the max here, leading off the 2nd.
He was behind in the count 0-2 as well. Here's the payoff. Going to see a 10th pitch.
They say pitchers, they like to get out of an inning with 15 or fewer pitchers if they can. It's going to be tough for Cashner to do that this inning.
Gregorius has the average up to 293, hitting 373 over his last 15 games.
Yeah, he's knocking on the door of 300. Right around the corner if he can stay hot.
And he is battling here against Cashner. Aaron Hicks on deck. The beneficiary of seeing all of Cashner's arsenal here as Gregorius works. Gregorius, a worm burner to short, not handled by Ramirez, and Gregorius's battle is rewarded as he reaches.
We'll see how the score this, it would have been a tough play to throw him out. He was going to have to use the 360 move. Going to his left is Alexei Ramirez. Can't come up with it cleanly, and it's going to be
an E6.
An E6. Okay, I can go with that. This is the big leagues. So Gregorius is on, and Cashner still, after working so hard, didn't retire him. In and out of the glove. That was an 11 pitch at bat.
Excellent work by Gregorius, and he is on to lead off the second as Hicks fouls that back. Now yesterday the Yankees facing a lefty and Drew Pomeranz started Rob Refsnyder in right field rather than Hicks.
Refsnyder borrowed a page out of Hicks's playbook when he threw out Kemp at the plate. Hicks, of course, probably the strongest arm of any Yankee outfielder, although Brett Gardner's up there as well.
Hicks smacks that into center field, just over the head of the second base ump. Gregorius will head to third, and the Yankees have runners on the corners with nobody out here in the second.
And the Yankees would like to see Hicks get it going here. He's been somewhat of a slump here, but he's kind of back in his neck of the woods. He's from California. Second base umpire Mike DeBuro had the low bridge. Solid line drive. Look out. And see Gregorius passing second. Just passing through on his way to third base.
Hicks had been 0 for his last 19.
Oh.
So he ends that with a rocket single, and here's Ronald Torreyes. Now, if you're Cashner, this is some perhaps navigatable ground with Torreyes and then the pitcher.
Yeah, he's really got to go hard to get Torreyes out with trying to keep that runner at third, because the pitcher's up next. We've seen Chad Green bat twice in big leagues. He struck out both times.
Torreyes looks at strike one.
So the pressure is on Torreyes, at least to get the runner home. That's for sure.
Yankees had first and second, nobody out in the top of the first, did not score.
I'm sure in the minors Chad Green didn't get a chance to hit at all. There's no interleague down there, and they use the DH.
Torreyes grounds that hard right to second, an easy double play, but a run will score, and the Yankees take a 1-0 lead.
I was about to say even a double play ball will get a run home. That's not the way you want to do it, but the Yankees do take the lead 1-0 as Gregorius, who reached on the error, will score. There's Ship taking care of it himself. 4-3 double play.
And Gregorius, you saw the high fives for him. His 11 pitch at bat ended with the error by Ramirez.
Now, a couple of years ago, I read a note on Cashner that he gave up an unbelievable 22 unearned runs one year. That's unbelievable.
I mean, at some point, do you say something to your defense at that point?
Or the defense might look at him, well, if we're not catching, you better strike everybody out.
Yeah, well. Green behind 0-2. And sat down. That'll do it. But the Yankees get on the board. Some good work from Gregorius, and Hicks sets up the first run, and a Ramirez error helped as well. The American League strikeout leaders, David Price at the head of the class, Chris Sale, Chris Archer, Justin Verlander, and then Corey Kluber in the 5 spot.
Well, the Yankees heading to Chicago next, and for them it'll be no Sale. Chris Sale pitched yesterday, so they won't see the talented left-hander who's second in the league in strikeouts.
I'm guessing they're okay with that.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. He won, what, 14 wins? Leading the league in wins? They said he's on pace for 28 wins this year.
That's a pretty hefty number.
Yeah, it is.
Here's Yangervis Solarte. Swinging first pitch, fouls that one off, giving it a look to Reyes, and it'll plop right into the Yankee dugout.
Well, Chad Green does have a lead to protect, albeit the slimmest of margins, 1 run, but it's still, you can win by 1.
I mean, if you're going to be over there, might as well go back with a high five. Now, Solarte, Yankees fans remember him from 2014. He got off to a great start with the Yankees that year. He'd hit .336 through mid-May, and then it all came apart. He hit .180 from May 14th till he was traded July 22nd, and it came out to .254. He was traded for Chase Headley.
You know what? When you said mid-May, he was hitting .336,
yeah.
All right, that sounds like almost a trip through the league.
Solarte powers that deep to left field. Gardner racing back, looking up. It is gone. An opposite field home run for Yangervis Solarte, and the Padres have tied it at 1.
Looked like a pitch that was up and out over the plate. Solarte went with it and rode it into the lower seats in left field, maybe into the first row. Yep, up and out over the plate. Got just enough of it. For a while, you thought Gardner was going to be able to make a play, and if he was closer to the wall, maybe he could have leaped and made the catch. But he couldn't get close enough to it. An opposite field home run for Yangervis Solarte. Yeah, right in the front row. Going to take a look at the swing on Yes Mo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. There's the follow through.
Now, this is not a challenge. This is an official review.
Yeah. It'll make sure the fan did not reach over. They're going to talk it over. And now are they going to take a look? It looks like they are going to take a look. There's Gardner going back. Takes a look to see where he is. And did the fan reach over? Gets a little dark in there.
Yeah,
it's hard to tell.
The change from sunshine to shade makes it a little difficult to interpret. Let's see, the top of the screen right here. Oh, looks like it just made it over.
Yeah.
Just to the left of that hat.
The fans are seeing the replay here, and of course majority San Diego fans, they want this to be a home run, and Solarte, I think he wants it to be a home run too. That would be his 5th of the year.
Yesterday there were 3 reviews that totaled 10 minutes.
Yeah,
they were long reviews,
and they all went in the Yankees' favor.
They did. Joe Girardi was asked about it today and said, look, they were long, but they were correct, as that will be a home run for Yangervis Solarte. His 5th of the year, ties this game at 1. And Ken, Joe, talking about the reviews, got into a little more detail and talked about what a great job that Brett Weber does for them.
Yeah, Joe said he really trusts his judgment, and it seems that over the years when the review has been used by the Yankees, they more or less are correct. Brett Weber knows what he's doing in there with that video.
Joe said he never doubts it. He just does whatever Brett tells him to do because he knows he's that good with it. Dickerson fires that into the Padres dugout.
Yeah, we didn't see Dickerson in the opening game of this series. And he was recently recalled from El Paso. You been to El Paso, Ryan?
I have not.
Well, you've been there, you won't forget it.
Swing and a miss. Nice delivery from Green for the first out, his third K.
No, it's a beautiful town out in the mountains, West Texas.
You played
In the
minor league ball there?
In the Texas League, and we went through there.
Yeah.
Ball really flies. You get out there. Albuquerque was in the league at the time. That was AA League. Now El Paso is AAA, Pacific Coast League.
Dick Enberg, the Padres broadcaster and longtime outstanding play-by-play man, was telling us, Kenny, you made mention of it the other night, that the team batting average in El Paso is somewhere around 311.
Yeah, something like that.
There's Dick Enberg.
Yeah. And alongside him, to his left, is Mark Grant, who's done the games here for a long time, been an analyst. Funny guy, Mark Grant.
A lot of energy.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yes.
Good personality. And apparently he likes to hold the baseball while he does the games.
Well, he's a former pitcher.
Yeah. Al Leiter likes to have a ball in the booth during the games as well.
A baseball or just have a ball?
Well, no, I mean both.
Oh, both.
Figuratively and literally. Skittles and Mountain Dew also requirements for Al.
By the way, this is Dick Enberg's last year.
Yeah.
He's retiring. A long storied career, and not only baseball, but just about every sport. Hall of Fame broadcaster.
You know, he's had an amazing career and probably somewhat under the radar in the baseball community, Ken, with Vince Scully retiring this year. But Dick Enberg has had an unbelievable career himself. As Green retires Norris, and that's his 4th K.
You know, this is the first time through the Padres. Not a Padre hitter has ever faced Chad Green. So, you know, all these strikeouts. Maybe we'll see what happens the second time through the order. And this is just a blistering fastball that Norris cannot catch up with. A lot of smoke there.
He can get that fastball up around 94.
That's where the secondary pitches come into play the next time through.
There's a 94-mile-an-hour fastball just off the corner. Ryan Schimpf was 3 for 29. Got his chance to play Friday, hit a big home run off of Nathan Eovaldi, his first big league home run, and then yesterday a double off of Ivan Nova.
That was one of the key moments of the game as far as I was concerned. There were 2 outs in the inning when Schimpf came to the plate and got that double, which means the Padres were able to clear the pitcher. He was out, he made the final out. Then the Padres tied the game the next inning. If Nova had gotten Schimpf out, the pitcher leads off and he's a free out, and that inning might not have happened.
Nice play by Castro to end this inning, but the Padres tied up on the Solarte home run, 1-1 after 2. By Mazda, driving matters. The Red Sox within 4 games of the Orioles now. So are the Blue Jays. Toronto has been coming and has beaten the Indians now 2 straight.
Team that's really struggling is Tampa Bay. They've lost. Well, they lost again today, so they've lost 4 in a row. And the thing about it, the last few days with the Yankees losing, they lost some opportunity. Baltimore's lost 3 in a row up in Seattle. They've lost the first 3 of a 4-game set.
Ellsbury looks at strike 2 on the inside corner. And Ken, that's more of the yo-yoing back and forth that we've seen from the Yankees, where just when it feels like, okay, maybe they're turning a corner, they lose a couple games in a row. The 0-2 grounded hard and through. Another hit for Ellsbury, his 2nd straight multi-hit game. And for the 3rd straight inning, they have the leadoff runner on, as we take a listen into Joe Girardi talking about the state of this Yankees team.
Up and down, inconsistent, not where we want to be. Obviously, we're going to have to play a lot better if we're going to get to where we want. And you know, it hasn't just been one facet of the game. You know, at times it's been offensively, at times it's been pitching, and those 2 things are really important to be consistent.
Now, Joe Girardi was asked specifically about his assessment of the team today, because this is game 81.
Yeah.
So half the season in the books, and I think the word we hear more than any other, Ken, is inconsistent.
Well, Joe also mentioned the fact we haven't gone on a string of winning 6 out of 8 or 5 out of 6 or something like that. Maybe you lose 1, then you win 6 out of 8 again. It just hasn't happened for the Yankees that way. You know, more or less they've won 2 or 3 in a row. Then all of a sudden they lose 2 or 3 in a row. It's been kind of a 50-50 situation. Although I will say they got off to a very slow start in April, fought their way back to 500 several times, but each time they've gotten there, they've fallen back again.
And as a result, they're 19-19 over their last 38 games. Ellsbury dives back. After a quiet homestand, it does seem like Ellsbury's gotten his back going.
Well, maybe it just seems he needs to play a National League team.
Yeah. He is hitting well over 350 in interleague play this season.
He's got a good lead right now, too.
2-0 on Gardner, who walked in his first at bat.
15 steals on the year, puts him up there among the league leaders. What makes him such a tremendous acceleration? Just really that first couple of steps, and he is almost at top speed.
Bluffed like he was going that time.
Yeah, I thought he was. He's trying to measure Cashner, that's for sure. Is it the bluff? Derek Norris throws pretty well behind home plate. Norris threw out 38 base runners last year. That was the most in baseball, at least the most in the National League.
Ellsbury scampers back.
That was close.
Yeah.
He's calling time so he can smooth the runway out. This is a closer play than maybe even Ellsbury wanted. He's back.
It's that one where you're halfway there, like, maybe I should have gone with the headfirst dive back. So 2-1 count on Gardner. Ellsbury will dive this time. Ken, when you were a hitter,
yeah,
and there was a runner on and they kept throwing over,
I liked it.
You did?
Yeah, and the reason being, I figured he's paying so much attention to the guy at first base, maybe he's not going to make a quality pitch to me. And it happened quite a bit. That pitches like right down the middle instead of towards the corner. Almost got him that time. So he's worried about Ellsbury now more so than he is Gardner. That was close.
Very.
Meanwhile, Gardner's ahead on the count here. 2 balls and a strike. He's going to have to throw him a pretty good pitch to hit anyway, just to get the count even.
Ellsbury starts and stops. Gardner smashes it right to short. Ramirez bobbles. He'll just get the out at second. Alexi Ramirez already with 1 error in the game and nearly another, but able to force Ellsbury at second base.
Gardner's one of the tougher players to double up anyway. He's only grounded into 1 double play this year. This would have been number 2 if it was handled successfully by Ramirez at short. They only get the force. That bobble, more than enough time for Gardner to beat the relay to first base. In fact, when I'm shipped, I'm just going to hold on to the ball. There's no chance of getting Gardner at first. He almost threw the ball away.
Now, we mentioned on Friday night that Andy Green has talked about, Padres manager Andy Green has talked about how fast this infield is playing this year, and he thinks that's part of the reason why the offensive numbers have suddenly raised at Petco Park. And I talked to Mark Teixeira about it today, and I said, can you tell, like, does it feel fast? He said, absolutely. He said it feels very fast, and some of these ground balls we've seen maybe get on Ramirez a little bit quicker.
See, it's a little more dangerous. He's already thrown over 1 time with Gardner. Now, he knows who the base stealers are in the Yankees. It comes with the scouting report. It's Ellsbury and Gardner. Now, if he pays enough attention to Gardner at first, there's a little bit more danger of making a mistake to Teixeira than there would be with Gardner at the plate. Teixeira is more apt to hit it out of the ballpark. And he had a pretty good swing at the first one. Let's see if he throws over again.
The 0-1 inside. Three infielders on the right side. Ramirez shaded up the middle. There goes Gardner. Fouled back by Teixeira.
He had a good jump. He's asking the umpire at second what happened. It was a foul ball. He's going to have to go back. Not quite the lead that Ellsbury had, but sometimes you take a shorter lead, the pitcher won't throw over. And that gives you more of a running start.
He had a very big jump.
Yeah, he did. He would have made that.
So Cashner ahead 1-2. Swing and a miss. Teixeira goes down swinging.
Looked like he swung over the top of a slider down and in. Cashner picks up strikeout number 4. Both pitchers have the strikeout pitches working so far, each with 4 strikeouts.
Teixeira struck out in each of his first 2 at bats.
Yeah, there's that down and in slider over the top. Very tough for a hitter to hold up. Well, you got to recognize the spin and just hold that ball breaking out of the zone.
There's Brian McCann. Flew out in the first. Has been hot of late. You know, Cashner was a very successful pitcher for a while. Between the 2013-2014 seasons, he pitched to a 2.87 ERA.
Yeah, he was particularly tough here.
Kenny mentioned the 21 straight home starts, allowing 2 runs or fewer. But last year and this year, he has struggled a bit. Just 9-21 with a 4.43 ERA.
If he can return to the form that he had shown earlier that you mentioned, he and Pomerantz would be a pretty good 1-2 punch. Righty and a lefty.
And then you get Tyson Ross back.
Yeah.
He's a very talented starter. Gardner goes and is there easily. Picked the right pitch to run on, and Brett Gardner is in scoring position with 2 outs.
Stolen base number 12, and even dozen. You called it. High breaking ball. Ball does not get to the plate as fast as a fastball would, and it means Norris is under pressure, and it throws offline. Alexi Ramirez gathers it in before it heads into the outfield. So Gardner's in scoring position.
Gardner's first stolen base since June 7th. The 1-0. Hit in the air to right, not deep. Kemp is there, and retired is McCann. The Yankees threaten again, but can't push a run across as we head to the bottom of the third. It's Military Appreciation Sunday, and they honored all of these new Marines with the Marine Recruit Salute. All standing and being applauded by this crowd. Those are some very brave and important people in our country.
Or San Diego, a huge military town. We showed you some shots of the USS Midway, which is in the harbor there, docked at the harbor. The Marines have a training base over on Coronado Island. Every once in a while you go over there and you see them running in formation. Very impressive. Nobody misses a step.
Navy SEALs train out here too.
Yeah. Veteran Alexi Ramirez, we told you, 8 years with the Chicago White Sox, signed with the Padres this year as a free agent. I'll tell you what, he was a workhorse with the White Sox. He averaged 153 games a season at shortstop.
Won a couple of Silver Sluggers. That is rolled slowly to the right side. Teixeira way over to grab and toss. Green nearly misses the base, but able to touch up just in time.
Nice play, and as you said, he was looking for the bag. The size 12s pay off. If it was size 9, Ramirez would have been safe.
And Ramirez is hanging out. The Padres may challenge this.
Let's see, there's the one step. And
out.
No, he got it.
Yep.
He's out.
He's out.
Yeah.
Now Ramirez retreats to the dugout. What do you think Green so far, Ken?
4 strikeouts, gave up the home run ball, opposite field home run. As I told you, when I saw him in May, I thought there was something there that warrants watching, and he went down to the minor leagues. Give him credit, he didn't pout when he got sent back after his first major league start, and he's come back and he's hanging in there. 1-1 ball game. Let's put it this way, he'd already given up 2 home runs when he pitched in that game in Arizona. Paul Goldschmidt and Jake Lamb took him deep.
He's out. Cashner was out of the box when that bunt hit him. Yeah, that's not a foul ball. He's going to be out.
So Cashner tried to bunt his way on. Here comes Andy Green. He's going to ask home plate umpire Quinn Walcott about this. Let's see. Here's the bunt. Does it hit him when he's out of the batter's box? It's hard.
That's actually harder to tell. Naked eye, it looked like he was out. But
let's see. Let's look at the left foot. The ball is in play. And it hits him there.
Yeah,
he's out. So that will go as a 2 unassisted. Brian McCann gets credited with the putout. Andy Green still talking it over with Quinn Walcott. And the reason why McCann gets credited is because he was closest to the play.
Now, if it hit him while he was in the box first and then hit him out, well, okay, then it's a foul ball because it's the first time it hits him in the box, it's a dead ball.
How many times did the ball hit him?
Yeah, let's see. Did it hit him initially here?
If it did, you can't really tell. It hit him again. If it did the first time, it would be a foul ball because his foot was in there. But maybe they say no, he's going back to the dugout. That's it. He's out.
Now, regardless of whether,
it did hit him.
You know
there.
what?
He's in the box.
He's in the box.
Yeah, that's a foul ball.
Great.
And then it hits him again, and that's when he was called out.
Yeah, that's an excellent angle from our guys here at Petco.
Well, they're going to get it eventually. You know that.
And you know what, Kenny? Even if you could challenge that, I don't know that one's going to be worth it on the off chance that
you want him
you lose it. Yeah, I mean it's
probably
a pitcher.
Strike out anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Upton flies that to right. Hicks started back, now jogs in. Inning over. Chad Green is through 3. Oh, those clouds are so white and puffy here. As we get ready to begin the top of the 4th inning at Petco Park. Ryan Rucco, Ken Singleton with you, and now joined by Meredith Marakovitz, who will take us inside her notebook today. And I guess the biggest question, Meredith, remains Carlos Beltran, his status right now with the hamstring.
Well, the good news is he continues to make progress. He said yesterday he was able to do some drills in the outfield. He was moving both side to side and backwards and forwards, throwing the ball to second base. Didn't feel anything in that hamstring, so he's worked it out a little bit. But he did admit today that you really don't know until you get into a game situation. It's just a little bit different when you're out there for the real thing. But he expects to be in the lineup tomorrow. He's available off the bench today to pinch hit, but he thinks he could be ready to play the field as early as tomorrow. And Joe Girardi said, hold up a second. We want to see you test it just a little bit more tomorrow before the game and see how you feel after that. But he kind of hinted to the fact that they need Carlos Beltran's bat in the lineup. Everybody knows that. But maybe he wouldn't be in there in the field, perhaps, as the DH.
All right, back in an American League Park tomorrow. Now, as far as what happens with Alex Rodriguez then, Meredith? How does that affect where he is going to slot into the Yankees' plans?
A lot of it is contingent on how Carlos Beltran feels, and right now they believe his bat is more valuable than Alex Rodriguez. If you remember that final game of the Ranger series, Alex had a couple of hits, but still has not been able to turn it on offensively, as they just get Castro at first base there. But you look at Beltran, both sides of the plate, he is just such an asset in the middle of that order. So their main priority is getting him back in as we get another look here, Kenny.
Well, the fact is Solarte laid back, which meant he had to get rid of the ball quickly, and it sails a little bit on him. Nice play by Will Myers at first base to keep the foot on the bag and reach as high as he can, up and back down, and just ahead of Castro at first base for the out. Wow, what a play.
But so at this point, Meredith, as Didi Gregorius steps in now with one out, check swing, it would seem like where Alex fits in is going to depend on what exactly happens with Beltran and whether or not he is going to be in the field when he returns to the lineup or at DH.
Exactly, and even if he isn't in the field right away, you have to believe that Joe Girardi acknowledges that he needs to find ways to give Carlos Beltran a little bit of time here and there, and really the only way to do that.
Gregorius smokes that to right, and it is gone. Didi Gregorius with a laser of a home run. And the Yankees take a 2-1 lead as the shortstop stays red hot.
On this home run, he has tied last season's output. This is his 9th of the year. Remember his first at bat? He was trying to jam him inside, and I said, Didi's quick enough in lately that you can't get much by him on the inside part of the plate, and this one was just racky-tack down the right field line. Tried to get in with a cutter. Didn't cut enough. Almost cut out a seat down there in right field. It was hit so hard. Solid swing. Just a matter of whether it's going to be high enough. Okay, let's go back to Meredith.
Didi Gregorius didn't want to hear about the DH plans, Meredith.
He said, I'll take care of the offense. We love Carlos Beltran. We need him in our lineup. But you know what? He is not there today. So let me take care of it myself, guys.
That's exactly right.
You know what? But we know Alex Rodriguez against right-handers has struggled. Do you wonder if, unless he can show that he's going to start hitting right-handers consistently, if that is going to be Joe Girardi's way to give Carlos Beltran a little bit of time off as a DH instead of having him out there in right field all the time, risking injury. But I think the biggest thing when you're dealing with a hamstring with any player, especially in older players, you don't want him to go out there too early, injure it more, and then that means instead of a couple of days, it's going to be a long-term thing until he gets back. And I think that's the concern and what Joe Girardi has to weigh come tomorrow.
Yeah, you know, playing the outfield or even running the bases, baseball is like a quick start. You got to get off quickly, and that's where you can re-injure a hamstring, and certainly the Yankees don't want that.
Our thanks to Meredith. We'll hear from Meredith, of course, throughout the game and on the post game as well, here on Yes, as Hicks looks at ball 3. No, Meredith just talking about Alex Rodriguez. I was talking with Alex earlier today about Didi Gregorius. And just, Kenny, you know, anyone who's gotten the chance to hear Alex talk about baseball knows that he really knows the game, and he studies his teammates as well as his own game, and he was saying for him it's two things. As Hicks smacks that into left center field, Upton going back, won't get there. It's a ground rule double for Aaron Hicks and his second hit of the game.
Well, the fact is the Yankees want this young man to get going, and today he's hit the ball hard twice. A solid single, and now runs one over the head of Melvin Upton Jr. in deep left center field. Once it hits this baked warning track, it's going to take a kangaroo hop right over the wall. I mentioned the kangaroo hop because yesterday I went to the zoo and saw a few kangaroos.
So Hicks with 2 hits now, and the Yankees set up with a runner on second and nobody out. Torreyes takes ball 1, but I asked Alex, well, what do you see from Gregorius that he's had such success, especially against lefties? He said 2 things. 1, you know, Didi is in phenomenal shape. And as the season goes along, the guys who are in great shape have a better chance of continuing to succeed. And 2, he trusts his hand so much now that he stays back, and that helps him so much against lefties. Now, in this case, of course, it's a righty in Cashner, but Didi's hitting everyone right now.
The hands provide the quickness. You know, your swing sometimes gets too long because you try and do too much with your swing. as opposed to relying on your hands. Just get that bat quickly through the zone like he did in that at bat. Beautiful swing, results in a home run.
Teixeira wiggles that right back to the mound. Hicks can't go anywhere. One down.
This is where you feel the effects of the National League game, right?
Yeah. And the pitchers come up to hit, and we mentioned Chad Green's now when he struck out his first time. He's been up 3 times in the major leagues. He struck out all 3 times. But he does have a bat in his hand, so you have to respect that. He could bloop one in there. Maybe the Yankees get contact. Maybe the Yankees get another run.
When you think about it, Kenny, in a different circumstance, let's say you have the DH, runner on second, nobody out. I know it's early, but you might have been bunting Teixeira to set up runner on third and 1 out. But Green trying to help himself.
And one thing I like, he does wear an elbow pad. Remember, he's a right-handed pitcher, and that right arm is the lead arm here.
That's a good point, because you don't usually have a pitcher hitting from the other side of the plate with their lead arm exposed. On the inside corner, strike 3. That'll do it. But Didi Gregorius goes yard, and the Yankees take a 2-1 lead. Doing more in state-of-the-art healthcare. As you can see, plenty of notable Padres on the DL. John Jay with the fractured forearm, Spangenberg with the left quad strain, Tyson Ross, who was their opening day starter, shoulder inflammation, and Eric Johnson, who they acquired for James Shields, on the DL as well. Now, Ken, we see John Jay hanging out.
He's having a good year, too.
You know how sometimes players forget outs? As we see the Audi scoreboard, the Yankees with a 2-1 lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, occasionally it happens to play-by-play guys, too. As Will Byers smokes the single into center field. Of course, Ronald Teixeira would not have been sacked bunting with 1 out to advance a runner to third for the 2nd out. But I was thinking there was no outs when Teixeira was up, and thus the NL game affecting him in that way.
Did you see me hold up 2 fingers? I guess you missed it.
I thought you were just calling for a curveball from me, and I delivered. Here's Matt Kemp with a runner on first.
It was Will Myers' 3rd hit in this series.
And just the second hit surrendered by Green.
You know, another big point in yesterday's ball game. Will Myers got on first with Betances in the ball game. Immediately he set out and stole second base and eventually scored. The thing about it is Betances, I think it's 11 in a row, 11 people or at least a dozen maybe have tried to steal him. They've all made it because he's got that big high leg kick. Of course, he uses that to strike people out.
So how do you remedy that then if you're him?
Well, it's something you're going to have to work on because the fact is you're not going to walk into a game and all of a sudden go with a slide step. I mean, that could screw up your delivery, screw up your control. But my point is you got to pay a little bit more attention to Myers at first. Even if you have a high leg kick, you got to throw over there a couple of times. He's got 13 stolen bases in 15 attempts. And when he stole second base, he scored on that little blue pit by Kemp that tied the game. And by the way, that might be the only flaw in Dellin Betances' game. That he doesn't hold runners well because maybe he's not used to having runners on base. He's striking everybody out. They used to say the best pitchers don't have moves at first base because they don't have many men on.
And a lot of times the runners who steal on him are stranded on base regardless. Mentioned Myers' speed. He's one of 4 National League players with double-digit home runs, double-digit steals. His teammate, Melvin Upton Jr., another one of those players. Paul Goldschmidt, Bryce Harper, the other 2 in the NL. That one just missed.
Yeah, it did. A few years ago with the Dodgers, Matt Kemp had what some people thought was an MVP year. 39 homers, 324, 126 runs batted in, 40 stolen bases, finished second.
Swing and a miss. Kemp goes chasing and finds nothing. 5th K for Green.
Been impressive. Let's see what this pitch is. Looks like a little cutter, a little slider. You know, and it looks like it's going to be on the corner. Kemp starts the bat and the ball just dives away. And to me, we've seen Michael Pineda's slider. Really, he's got one of the best sliders in the league, but he's really got it working well because it's diving out of the zone. To me, that's what Luis Severino has to learn. His slider has a tendency to stay within the strike zone when he gets ahead on counts. He's got to get it to look like a strike and then dive out of the zone. Pineda's been good with it lately, and you just saw an example of that type of pitch from Chad Green. Make it look like a strike, the illusion of a strike, then move out of the zone. That makes it even tougher to hit.
Solarte fouls that off.
And I believe once Severino gets that, he'll really be able to help the Yankees. And that's what the Yankees are looking for him to start making those type of pitches. And he's got the other stuff. And you'll have another young pitcher on your hands who can get people out.
Well, Joe Girardi has talked about the disparity between the results he's been getting in AAA, which have been pretty good, versus those sort of advancements they want to see, as that misses off the corner.
If you were watching Pineda's 12 strikeout game the other day,
right?
Man, how many pitches did the Texas Rangers swing at that dove out of the zone?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Probably the best slider Pineda's had this season.
Yeah, exactly.
Solarte grounds that inside first down the right field line. Will Myers can run. Hicks digs it out of the corner. Myers hangs on at third. A double by Yangervis Solarte, his second into the game, and the Padres with 2 in scoring position and 1 out.
Now, so far, Solarte's the hitter that has given Green the most trouble. He's hit a home run and now rips a double by Teixeira, which is not an easy feat in itself. Teixeira kind of moving in the other direction to try and guard the hole. This one goes to his left. Good play by Hicks to get it in quickly. That's going to hold Myers at third. So it gives Green an opportunity here. If he can handle Dickerson the way he did the first time, he'll have a second out. And a run wouldn't be able to score on a fly ball. Let's see what happens here.
Infield is back. Dickerson grounds that foul. Not going to play the infield in and chance 2-run scoring. See Castro all the way on the outfield grass at second.
Now Dickerson, we mentioned, recently recalled from the minor leagues. He was leading the Pacific Coast League in hitting. He's up there in the 380s.
Everyone's hitting at El Paso, Ken. Here's the 1-1. No, I asked Joe Girardi, when you have a guy on the mound you haven't necessarily seen that many starts, do you look for anything differently than you do your normal rotation guys? He said, no, you're still looking at the swings from batters, but the one thing you don't know is how will he handle getting into trouble. The guys you've seen, you have some inventory there. Not necessarily the case with Green. Now behind 3-1.
Well, there is a base open with a right-handed hitter on deck. So for me, I don't think this is going to be a foul. So this first 3-ball count. So he's been pretty much in control. I just think he's being very careful with Dickerson here. He's got a right-hander up next. It's either the corner or nothing.
Right back to Green. He snares it, fires to second in time for the double play. Not the way you draw it up, but Chad Green and the Yankees will take it.
Well, first of all, it looks like he's looking for a receiver, and he finally finds one in Gregorius. He looked to third, nobody home there. You can see that Torres is way off the back. Torres point thrown to second, and he gets the double play there and gets out of the inning.
The Yankees escape as Green fires to Gregorius to end the threat. Yeah, an incredible start for him, Bob. Nationals, a formidable team in the NL, as Ellsbury swinging at the first pitch. It's a towering pop-up. Alexi Ramirez, the shortstop, will put it away.
You know, there were those who thought that Strasburg would play it out, become a free agent at the end of the year, but instead he signed a long extension with the Nationals. He liked where he was. So we look at our Cadillac scoreboard, the Yankees on top by a score of 2-1.
Beautiful day to sit out on the lawn, get some sun, and Chad Green feeling good after that double play. That's one right. When you make a play like that, you come back, hey, you guys see that? Green snaring a line drive right back at him, turning it into an inning-ending double play with the Padres threatening. Ryan Ruocco, Ken Singleton, Meredith Morakovitz with you. Appreciate you being with us on this holiday weekend. Hope you're all enjoying some barbecuing. Maybe a little wiffle ball in the front yard.
Oh man, I remember those days. That was a long time ago. That was before. I remember days of July 4th double headers.
Oh yeah,
and they're kind of gone by the wayside. A lot of family time here. A lot of families, young families, and grandpas, grandmas around too. Yeah, just great.
Plenty of kids out at the ballpark, and it is jammed today.
Oh my goodness, the whole weekend. And this is an area there's a lot to do.
Gardner takes ball 2.
I mentioned yesterday on my off day, went to the zoo.
Yeah. Now, what was your favorite animal?
Oh well, you know, I kind of like the giraffes. They were very stately, and you know, just the whole place was great.
You enjoy the stately nature of the giraffe.
You know, they're just elegant looking.
They are. They have polar bears at this zoo?
Yeah, they did.
I always get a kick out of the polar bears.
I saw one.
Gardner smashes that to right. Kemp right there for the out. Hey, follow Yankees baseball live with the MLB.com at-bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet.
Hey, Ryan, before we go any further, we should wish Yankee General Manager Brian Cashman a happy birthday today.
49 years old.
I didn't say it, you did.
You know, I only felt comfortable because they printed it in the Yankees game notes.
Yeah, they did.
So I figure if they're going to be okay telling the world Brian's age, then we can.
He's still a young man. He's got a long way to go.
Very young. Well, it makes you realize how young he was when he took over as general manager. There's a lot of Yankee birthdays around this time of year. I'm sure you'll be celebrating some of them tomorrow in Chicago. Swing and a miss. Teixeira has been overmatched by Cashner. 3 at-bats, 3 Ks. Chad Green back to the hill. July 19th, when the Yankees take on the Orioles. The first 25,000 guests in attendance will receive a Brett Gardner collectible cup, courtesy of Premio Foods. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. The All-Star Game is coming to San Diego.
What are we about
9 days away from the All-Star game. On the Cadillac scoreboard, the Yankees a 2-1 lead over the Padres. This is going to be a terrific host city for that All-Star game. You should be able to watch on Fox. Here's Derek Norris. Struck out in his first at bat. Playing day game after a night game. And behind 0-2.
That statistics you read about when he doesn't play.
They're 2-17. Wow. And based on a lot of different metrics, he is one of the most valuable defensive catchers in the big leagues.
And when you say defense, that's not only just throwing and blocking ball, that's calling games.
That's
I mean,
right.
Just pitchers have a good rapport with him.
Fouls it back. If you look at several of their starters, the Padres starters, their numbers with Norris and without, I mean, there's a stark difference in their success.
Well, I was looking to see if the Padres had a day off tomorrow. They do not. They're headed out of town. They're going to Arizona for a 3-game series. So he might be in there again tomorrow night.
On the corner, strike 3. And Norris down on strikes for the second time. Now, I want you to take a look at Derek Norris's face. I mean, well, if I'm the ball, I'm a little afraid. That's a mean-looking face. We hear he's a great guy, but is that not an angry-looking face?
He's a little angrier now because this is called strike 3. Secondary pitch, good breaking ball for a strike from Chad Green.
Ryan Schimpf looks at ball 1. You know, Kenny was talking about the numbers at El Paso and the success that Alex Dickerson has had there. Well, Schimpf hit 355 at AAA this year.
Yeah, he was holding up his end of the bargain. That's for sure.
15 homers in 51 games. 1-2.
That was a changeup. Starting to mix in the other pitches here. It's not only that 94, 95 mile an hour fastball. This is what the Yankees wanted. Nice break on that change too, down and away from a lefty. Struck out Norris on a breaking ball.
Swing and a miss. 95 miles an hour, and Schimpf didn't have a chance.
Well, it looked even faster after that change up before it, and this time he just blows it right on by him. Swing and a miss.
7 strikeouts for Chad Green and just 58 pitches. Alexi Ramirez grounded out in the 3rd. Green has looked very much in control.
His season high in strikeouts was 11, and that was at Toledo. And that was a game he lost, actually. Better hitters in this lineup than there were in the Toledo lineup.
That was the 60th pitch. Today's pitch count brought to you by Acura. And you see the breakdown. That is a ratio you will sign for.
Looking pretty strong to this point.
The 1-1. Fouled away. Well, Larry Rothschild said, look, he is a strike thrower. Going to pound the zone. Movement on the fastball. We've seen that with the little cut action.
There's 2 outs here. This is what in yesterday's game Nova couldn't accomplish. You got to get this guy out. You have the pitcher leading off the next inning. You force the other manager's hand. Either get him out of the game or you get a free out leading off the next inning. This is a guy, Ramirez, you got to get out. You don't want the Padres to clear the pitcher this inning. So 2 outs, nobody on. go hard after Alexei Ramirez.
And it was this exact spot.
Yep.
2 outs in the 5th.
Yep.
And then the Padres got that game-tying run in the 6th. 1-2.
Ooh, almost.
Just stayed alive.
That looked more like a curveball than a slider, and Ramirez just got a piece of it. Now, in yesterday's game, Schimpf was up in this plate, and he got a double.
Green trying to make sure the pitcher spot leads off the 6th. Ramirez hanging tough.
He is, but he's going to swing. So if you can get him to chase something out of the zone, you might make it even easier to get him out here. When he was with the White Sox, remember all those years with the White Sox, very rarely walked. He was one of the toughest hitters in the league to walk.
The 1-2. Popped up, foul ground. Teixeira will run out of room.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that I think that pitch was too good.
Yeah,
he's got a pitch to play with here.
We saw Ramirez dive at a breaking ball well off the plate 2 pitches ago. Fouled off to stay alive. Maybe he's going back to it here. The 1-2. Looped and grabbed by Gregorius, spinning, twisting, and hauling in. Mission accomplished for Chad Green. The number 8 hitter is retired. We go to the 6th, 2-1 Yankees.
Doing it all with the bat, also with the glove. This ball looked like it was going to get over his head, but Didi leaps at the proper time. It makes the play. And Alexei Ramirez, who been a pretty good shortstop in his day. Come on. Seriously?
Well, I mean, there is no question. Didi Gregorius has been the Yankees' best two-way player this season. He fields at an elite level. Now he's hitting at an elite level, especially for his position. Beltran's had a better year offensively, but if you take into account both sides of the ball, Didi's been the guy.
Yeah, he has really come on from his early days with the Yankees when some people thought he shouldn't be playing at all.
Yeah. Big swing from McCann and miss. It gives you a little lesson on patience, right?
I think you have to have some patience with young players who haven't really been exposed to that much time in the big leagues as far as getting consistent playing time. And I think the same thing. The Yankees are thinking the same thing with Aaron Hicks, who didn't really get that much playing time in Minnesota. I'm looking out at the Padres bullpen. Nobody warming up, so that tells me Cashner's going to lead off next inning.
You know, I want to find out a little bit more about Didi. Let's check in with Meredith.
Well, I spoke with Joe Girardi for a long time yesterday about Didi Gregorius, and he said the biggest difference he sees from last year to this year is maturity. Also, he's able to relax in some of those crucial situations where he feels as though early on in his first year with the Yankees, he tried to do too much, as Kenny, you talked a little bit about earlier, but now he takes a step back, is able to relax. And coming into this season, Didi Gregorius told me that he did not want to be known as a guy that could only hit right-handed batters. He wanted to be a guy that is out there every day. His goal is to play every game, and you see the drastic improvement against left-handed pitching, and that's a big part of it. It was one of his main focuses this offseason in wanting to make sure that he wasn't giving Joe Girardi any reasons to take him out of that lineup.
And he has been unbelievable against left-handed pitching. 365 this season, which is the best by any lefty batter in the major leagues. 420 against lefties since May 7th.
Now there is some movement in the Padres bullpen.
And McCann is on to lead off the 6th. Here's Castro. Has had a quiet series offensively. Skies that to center. Plenty of room. One out as McCann retreats.
I was going to say that leadoff walk might have been a red flag for Andy Green to get somebody up in the pen.
Yeah. Pitch count at 85 for Cashner's first start off the DL. Carlos Villanueva throwing for San Diego. And Gregorius, who has the go-ahead home run, stepping into the box for the Yankees.
If you blinked, you missed it. That was a rocket down the right field line.
A laser. Gregorius smokes that, but snared by Schimpf. That might have broke the webbing.
Almost went through the glove. He hit it so hard.
It was peeking through.
Schimpf is checking the glove out to make sure that it'd be serviceable from this point on. Line drive, he leaps. And you can see the ball almost went through the glove. Almost tore out the webbing. Nice play by the Padres second baseman. He couldn't have thrown it. He had to throw the glove if he wanted to get a double play. McCann got back safely.
At the end of the 5th, he received a glare from Alexi Ramirez after he robbed him, and this time gives one back to Ryan Schimpf.
You live by the glove, sometimes you die by the glove.
Now we've seen El Duque flip it over to first, but that was from a much closer distance. There's Aaron Hicks, who's had a very nice afternoon, a single, a double, and now a hard grounder through for his 3rd hit of the game. Gregorius and Hicks have been on Cashner all afternoon.
Well, I'm not sure. I think this is the second time he's had a hit on the first pitch, and he's seen the ball pretty well off Cashner. Brought to you by Yesmo and your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Out of the reach of Schimpf at second base. Gave it a good old college try. Went to LSU.
So Aaron Hicks, who came into this game 0 for his last 20, is 3 for 3. And now Ronald Torreyes hits with 2 on and 2 out. Inside.
The phone is ringing in the Yankee bullpen. Maybe not. Mike Harkey's not moving.
Well, now here would be an interesting spot if Torreyes was to walk.
Yeah, the pitch. Well, somebody is getting up to throw, as Joe Girardi might be thinking about pinch hitting. No,
won't have that chance. Ramirez ends it. Yankees threaten again, do not score. We know something about throwing gloves in Yankee land. Remember this? Yep, El Duque could improvise with the best of them. You know what? It was a bit of a chuck. Brought to you by Fios. Fios is not cable. We're wired differently. Visit getfios.com. CC Sabathia having an outstanding season. Takes the ball for the Yankees against James Shields, who was traded from the Padres to the White Sox earlier this year. Coverage begins at 1:30 on Yes, and here is the entirety of the starting pitching matchups for this series. And it'll be Tanaka and then Pineda following Sabathia for the Yanks.
Rodon and Gonzalez following Shields. As I said, no Chris Sale.
Chad Green throws ball one. Now with Green starting today, as we have a pinch hitter in the pitcher's spot, Andrew Cashner.
It's Jankowski,
who started in the outfield the first two games of this series in center field. But with Chad Green starting today, it also means that that start from Tanaka we saw in Chicago is on an extra day of rest.
Exactly.
Which the difference in the numbers for him are stark. He has an ERA over 5 on 4 days rest, under 2 on 5. And this matchup right here, Ken, is an interesting one. Meredith Marakovitz let us know earlier that these two faced each other in the Cape Cod League, got to know each other.
That is probably the premier wooden bat league, a college summer league. Green at University of Louisville, and you mentioned Jankowski went to Stony Brook. That's a tremendous league. My son Justin played in that league for a couple of summers. And it's like great settings up in Cape Cod. My son played for Chatham, beautiful town on the Cape. Chatham A's, summer catch.
Swing and a miss. Green with his 8th K of the afternoon, and he has bragging rights over his former Cape Codder.
Swing and a miss, and once again a power fastball. Jankowski making that turn, headed back to the bench. Chad Green's pitching like he didn't want to go back to Scranton Wilkes-Barre, huh?
I guess so. Andrew Miller was also a Chatham man. Upton gets into that to center. Ellsbury back, has room, will catch. 2 down.
Upton's is swinging a hot bat. The Yankees found out in the bottom of the 9th last night, and as you pointed out, Brian, it's might have made him even more trade worthy. That pitch kind of hung, and lately you don't want to hang many pitches to Melvin Upton Jr.'s. He sends Jacoby Ellsbury about to the middle of the warning track, just in front of the 396 sign. That's way out there. Used a big part of the ballpark to pick out number 2 here in the 6th.
Chad Green at just 72 pitches. He has been terrific, trying to retire the red-hot Will Myers. Now the pitcher spot does lead off next inning.
Nobody warming up, though, not yet.
Yesterday, Dellin Betances threw an inning and 2/3, 27 pitches. I did ask him before the game, would he be available? He said, I'm good to go. So perhaps this will be the last batter that Green faces. Fisted slowly. Gregorius has to barehand, fires in time for the final out of the inning. A beautiful play made to look routine by Didi Gregorius. Green is through 6, and the Yankees lead it 2-1. Bullpen as the Padres will send Carlos Villanueva to the hill after 6 innings from Andrew Cashner, holding the Yankees to 2 runs on 6 hits. You see the numbers for Villanueva: a 4.53 ERA, good strikeout to walk ratio, a few too many hits and far too many homers. And a pinch hitter for Chad Green, it'll be Carlos Beltran off the Yankee bench. He pinch hit Friday night and doubled, pinch hit here and 1 hops. Solarte, the third baseman, throws out Beltran, and he is retired to lead off the 7th.
And off in the distance, warming up in the Yankee bullpen, you can see that number 68. You can see all the way from up here that you know who's warming up.
Ken, the Yankees could not possibly have hoped for anything more than what they got from Chad Green this afternoon.
I think he's earned another start, if you ask me. Of course, that's up to the Yankees, but he looked pretty good against this Padre lineup and is in a position to pick up a victory.
75 pitches, 51 of them for strikes for Green. Just 1 3-ball count. He was really terrific. Ellsbury 2 for 3.
And I think what we talked about at the beginning of the game, Meredith mentioned Joe Girardi wanted to see better secondary pitches. I think we saw them today. We saw good breaking ball. Slider looked pretty good. Some of them broke like curveballs, and he mixed in a few changeups too.
On the GMC scoreboard, he has that 2-1 lead. Ellsbury, hard contact again, but it hung up for Upton. 2 out. The interesting thing, Ken, is, Ivan Nova had really been struggling. Yesterday, he pitched well, his best start in a while. Had he struggled, might have been easy to slide Chad Green into Nova's rotation spot.
Nova deserved a better fate than he got yesterday.
Yes. But so, if Green starts again, maybe it's just a 6-man rotation this time through.
Yeah, Nova came away with a no decision. As Andrew Miller suffered his first loss of the year.
There's a strike to Gardner. Gardner a walk in the first. Stolen base in the third. He's 0 for 2 on the day. One and one. Villanueva in his second straight season working out of the pen. Was a starter in Milwaukee, Toronto, and then with the Cubs started to make that transition, and last year out of the pen in St. Louis at a sub-3 ERA. One and two on Brett Gardner. Inside, 2-2. And part of the reason that Villanueva signed with San Diego was conversations he had with Trevor Hoffman. He had been a teammate of Hoffman's in Milwaukee, really bonded with him, and Hoffman told him how much he liked pitching out here, and Villanueva says he very much has. Chopped and snared by Myers. He will beat Gardner to the bag, and that'll do it. We will hang right here, though, as in San Diego they will honor America with the playing of God Bless America.
God bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Taking a look at the game summary here in San Diego. The Yankees, a 2-1 lead. Chad Green in his second major league start, outstanding. 6 innings of 3-hit ball. Didi Gregorius with the go-ahead home run. And now Green and the Yankees turn things over to no runs DMC on the GMC scoreboard. The Yankees the 2-1 edge, and Dellin Betances on the hill.
You couldn't have asked for more from Chad Green. 8 strikeouts, no walks.
Kenny, you mentioned it often. He really mixed in those secondary pitches well.
Yeah, and plus, well, I saw one fastball at 97. There's several of them from 93 to 95, but just an outstanding afternoon. So Larry Rothschild was right on with the strike throw. No walks.
Now Betances yesterday threw 27 pitches. It was the first time in a while he had been asked to get 5 outs. And it was actually the first time this year that he did record 5 outs. I asked him how he was feeling. He said, "I'll be fine." But Kemp greets him with a hard hit single through a vacated right side.
Kemp picks up his first hit and going against the shift. A leadoff single here in the 7th inning.
Yangervis Solarte has been on base in both of his 2 trips, a solo homer and a double. Now, Ken, before we were talking about Dellin Betances and holding on runners, and Meredith, it's something he actually addressed yesterday.
He did. He readily admitted that he's slow to the plate, and he said he can't just let runners get to second base unchallenged. He needs to do a better job of holding them on.
And there went Kemp on the foul ball from Solarte.
And he said he's never been much of a slide step guy, and that's something he would definitely need to work on, and it's difficult because there's not a lot you can do in the course of one day to better that move or make yourself quicker to the plate. He's always been a big leg kick guy. He's very tall. It takes long for the ball to get there, but did say it's something that's on his radar that he'd like to work on, but then continued on and said he trusts his stuff. He trusts his ability to get strikeouts, and that's a big part of it. He doesn't think that that runner is going to be an issue. He feels as though he deals with the person at the plate, he'll be fine.
Well, Matt Kemp at one time was a big stolen base guy. He stole 40 bases one year for the Dodgers. He doesn't have a stolen base this year, and he took off almost immediately.
That's right. Which gives you an idea of
the scouting report.
Exactly, on Betances' leg. But as Meredith said, and you were talking about earlier, Ken, it's not easy to all of a sudden learn a slide step.
But what he can do is hold the ball a little longer, step off from time to time, throw over. So give the runner a few different looks as opposed to just taking the ball, one look, and throwing.
Vary your rhythm.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. And Meredith is right. He's not. You can't learn that in one day. You just can't learn a slide step because your control will suffer.
And right now he's behind 3-1 to Solarte. Betances gave up a couple of hits and a walk yesterday in his inning and 2/3. Allowed an inherited run to score and tie the game on a check swing double from Matt Kemp. A 3-1. Lined into left field. That's another hit for Solarte, his 3rd. And the Padres have the tying run in scoring position and the go-ahead run on base.
Let's see how the Padres want to play this here. Left-handed hitter coming to the plate. Solarte picks on another high pitch and just flips it into left field, kind of an inside-out swing. And the Padres have 2 men on, both opposite field hits. But Alex Dickerson coming to the plate. And he went up to get this. Was like picking an apple off the top limb of a tree. And he comes up with a base hit. First and second, nobody out. The Yankees are kind of looking for the bunt here. Now, Dickerson has not been in the big leagues very long, so I don't know if he has a sacrifice bunt or not. No, he does not.
And he was also a masher in the minor leagues. But he'll show bunt here and bunted foul.
One thing you're supposed to learn in the minor leagues is how to bunt.
That's always such an interesting flip, right, Ken? Because you could be a middle of the order power hitter in the minors. You come up here, now all of a sudden you're going to be put in some spots where you're asked to bunt.
Yeah, I laid down sacrifice bunts in my major league career, even though when I was batting third, fourth, or fifth.
The 0-1 showing bunt again. Right to Teixeira. He looks at second, fires in time to get the out at second base.
A risky play, but it paid off, and it pays off because the fact is you keep the double play in order here with runners at first and third. Now, if the runner gets to second, you're going to have to load the bases to try and get a double play. Teixeira looks, he sees some daylight, and he decides to go to second base, and he gets the force. You know what? If Didi doesn't have to stretch out so much to get this play, I was watching the runner go down to first. Dickerson really wasn't hustling. They could have turned that into a double play. Watch the hitter after he lays the ball down. Here comes Teixeira. Throw goes to second, and look and see when the ball is caught, there could have been time to make a double play.
About midway down the line, he started jogging. But the stretch eliminated that possibility of a throw. Now first and third with one out.
There's the bunt.
And you see he lets up a little bit there, and then it's like, oh, I got to pick it back up. Betances trying to escape with the tying run on third, one out here in the seventh. Now Dickerson, who is now on first base, a bit of a threat to run early on in the minors. Double-digit stolen bases a couple of times. He did not have any at AAA this year. Outside, ball one. Norris 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts against Chad Green, who allowed just 3 hits in 6 innings. Strike. Good breaking ball over the outside corner from Betances.
Yeah, this is the part of the order from Solarte on down that Green handled very well. Nobody got a hit from this point on in the batting order, including Norris striking out a couple of times.
0 for 8 with 4 Ks from the 6 through 9 spot. And Norris calls time. Brian McCann will jog out to chat with Dellin Betances.
And we know that Betances is a strikeout artist. He'll take that, but even more so if you can get a double play from a catcher who probably doesn't run all that well, it'd be even better.
Two-1 Yankees, bottom of the 7th, first and third, one out for San Diego, a 1-1 count on Norris. Betances delivers, runner goes, swing and a miss, no throw, and Dickerson has his first stolen base of the year at either level.
Well, that kind of takes away the ground ball double play, but right now Betances is thinking strikeout.
Now a single would likely give San Diego the lead. Betances trying to fan Norris. The 1-2. Fought it off to stay alive. Larry Rothschild working the phone. Here's the 1-2. 2-2. You could see Norris getting ready to fire and was able to hold up.
Pitch wasn't quite close enough to the strike zone to make him complete a swing. Trying to make it look like a strike and dive out of the zone, but not close enough. Good break on that one, though.
Anthony Swarzak getting going. I mentioned Betances threw 27 pitches yesterday. Andrew Miller threw 20. He suffered the loss, serving up a walk-off home run to Melvin Upton Jr. Here's the 2-2. Up and away, 3-2. That was close.
Out of the zone. Showing a lot of breaking balls in this at bat.
Here's the payoff to Norris. Swing and a miss. He got him.
Big strikeout, and once again he went to that breaking ball. Gets it close enough to the zone that it looks like it's going to be a strike. Here's the corner, and it falls off, and Norris can't reach it. Struck him out.
Third strikeout of the day for Norris. And now Betances will deal with the rookie Ryan Schimpf. Hitting .135 in his limited at bats. Has homered and doubled in the series. He's 0 for 2 today. Betances delivers ball 1.
Left-handed hitter at the plate, right-handed hitter on deck. But in terms of experience, the hitter on deck has much more experience in big situations.
Alexi Ramirez. The 1-0. 98 miles an hour.
And also, I think you go after him because if you put him on and you walk the next hit, it's tie ball game. Good
strike 2. Beautiful backdoor breaking ball. And Betances a strike away from getting out of it.
Nice job of McCann of framing that pitch on the outside corner for the strike.
Tying run on third, go ahead run on second. Betances wants to leave them both there. The 1-2. He got it! Gorgeous breaking ball over the outside corner, and Schimpf is down looking. Back-to-back Ks from Betances. We move to the 8th.
The greater coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. Zach Greinke on the 15-day DL. How about Joe Ross, placed on the DL with the same injury as his brother Tyson of the Padres, and Brandon McCarthy, one-time Yankee, activated from the 60-day DL to start against Colorado today.
Dodgers are winning that game in the 9th inning.
Mark Teixeira's had a rough day at the plate. 0 for 3, 3 Ks. Dellin Betances a few minutes ago. Chatting with Larry Rothschild. Joe Girardi's a part of it as well.
We tell him a nice comeback in that inning. Struck out the last 2 hitters. Tying run in scoring position.
Teixeira, towering fly ball down the right field line. Kemp over, watching, it's gone. Mark Teixeira with his 400th career home run, becoming just the 5th switch hitter in baseball history to reach that mark.
Well, we talked about how the ball's been carrying to right field, and the Yankees have had 2 home runs in this direction, but they're polar opposite home runs. Gregorius with a line drive home run down the right field line, and for Teixeira, a towering fly ball that just carried on into the seats. Gives the Yankees more of a cushion here in the 8th inning.
And a huge milestone for Mark Teixeira as McCann shows bunt and pulls it back.
Here's another look. Breaking ball that hangs, and he sent this one high in the air to the right. I don't think he thought he got it.
No.
But look at Kemp running out of room. It almost landed in the same seat that Gregorius did. And Teixeira is usually pretty stoic running around the bases. He knows it's number 400.
That is about as much emotion as you'll see from him.
His 6th home run on this season.
And he gives the Yankees a little bit of a cushion.
There we go. Most home run switch hitters all time.
Some big time company.
Yeah.
Now, Quinn Wolcott, home plate umpire, has gone over to the Yankee dugout.
I wonder if they feel that Can got hit with this pitch.
Maybe.
Let's see. You know, it looked like it clipped him in the left leg.
Foot, yeah.
When he squared the bunt, Alexei Ramirez was very deep. McCann trying to follow the bunt, home run with a bunt. Did it hit him? Maybe it didn't from that angle. It's going to be close. Did the ball look for the ball to change directions? Maybe it did. If it did, it just clipped the uniform.
You know what?
Hit the
I
heel?
think it is heel. Yeah,
Hit the heel?
It is left heel.
All right.
It changes direction ever so slightly, but on that angle, it looks like it hit the heel of Brian McCann.
So this is a challenge by the Yankees. They're going to send him to first base.
Yeah.
HBP.
A good find from Brett Weber and the Yankees.
Goodness. Brett's on fire. They should put him in the lineup.
And McCann is on. You know, Ken, to go back to Teixeira with his 400th career home run on the Hyundai scoreboard, we see the Yankees now with a little more of a cushion, a 3-1 lead. You were a switch hitter.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You know how difficult it is to put up those numbers. I mean, how much more work is it getting both swings right all the time?
When you get to spring training, you spend more time in the cage. Also, on days, you can go 4 or 5 days in a row, you don't see a left-hander. So you have to make sure you get your swings from the right-hand side of the plate.
Off the glove of Villanueva, Schimpf fires in time to retire Castro. McCann advances to second.
So if I'm facing a right-hander during batting practice, I make sure I take 1 round, maybe 2 rounds of swings right-handed. So Although this time Teixeira goes deep left-handed. Be interesting to see the breakdown of his right-handed to left-handed home runs, because basically you face so many more right-handed pitchers, you're going to have a lot more home runs left-handed. And usually it's about 2.5 to 1. For every one you hit right-handed, it's about 2.5 times more you hit left-handed.
Gregorius rolls that to second. 2 out as McCann advances to third. Kenny, you wanted to know the numbers for Teixeira with his home runs. 110 of them have come right-handed. 289 of them left-handed. So basically the ratio you're talking about.
2.5 to 1. Yeah.
Now he has 3 of those 110 right-handed actually came against right-handed pitchers.
Probably knuckleballers.
Yeah, you would think. Here's Aaron Hicks. He's had a day. 3 for 3. Also some breathing room for the Yankees, Ken. They've had to operate out of the pen with little or no room for error.
Now this would be a nice run to pick up right here with 2 outs.
That's right. The 1-0. Down.
Yeah, if you're Villanueva on the mound, you look over in the on-deck circle, you got Torres. Hicks has already hit the ball hard 3 times. If you've been paying attention to the bullpen, you know that Hicks has had himself a good day. This is a guy you want to be careful with. You don't even care if you pass him. If I'm the Padres, he goes to 3-0 here, just put him on.
Well, we'll see. Hicks with his second 3-hit game of the season. The other came back on May 11th against the Royals.
Yeah, they're going to walk him intentionally.
Yep. Now, will the Yankees make any counter move or let Torres hit?
Good, and then Chase Headley's around somewhere.
That's right. Joe Girardi appears poised to let Torres hit. Torres 0 for 3 on the day.
Headley did foul a ball off his foot yesterday and went down in a heap, so I wonder if that's been an issue. Well, Alex Rodriguez taking off the windbreaker.
He would be hitting presumably
for Betances.
Yes. Beyond deck circle. For now, it is Torres. Broken bat. Roller to short. Forced at second. Inning over. But Mark Teixeira gives the Yankees some insurance and gives himself some history. The 5th player in Major League history to be a switch hitter and collect 400 home runs. 3-1 Yankees. All new WB Mason presents The Joe Girardi Show for a special Independence Day episode featuring a trip to the Statue of Liberty with Aroldis Chapman celebrating his new U.S. citizenship. Don't miss the premiere following Yankees coverage only on Yes. Joe Girardi has a little more breathing room after Mark Teixeira's 400th career home run. On the Hyundai scoreboard, the Yankees now up 3-1 after the solo shot. And they'll turn it over to Andrew Miller. The numbers are fantastic. Although Miller did allow his 5th home run of the season last night, a walk-off shot to Melvin Upton Jr. And he told Meredith and the other members of the media that he actually didn't even feel that sharp in his first inning of work last night. Just didn't think he was very good.
Well, the Yankees are looking for a bounce-back performance here. Just passed the baton to Aroldis Chapman, who should be in there tonight with a Yankee lead.
Facing 8-9-1 this inning. And Ramirez ahead 2-0.
Miller thought he had a strike there.
A little bit down, 3-0. Miller a bit frustrated. We saw Christian Bethancourt in the on-deck circle. We'll get ready to hit in the pitcher's spot. Strike one for Miller. In the air to center. Ellsbury, 1 out.
Nice comeback by Miller after falling behind 3-0 to get the first out of the inning. Lazy fly ball off the bat of Ramirez. Pinch hitter coming up for the Padres.
Christian Bethancourt, the backup catcher. Four home runs on the season.
Bethancourt not only the backup catcher, he's also a backup relief pitcher. He's appeared twice on the mound this year. Pitched a scoreless inning on June the 13th.
You always have to have that guy. We saw the other day when Toronto had to use a couple of position players.
Wow.
That is smashed foul. Wade Boggs used to be that guy for the Yankees with his knuckleball.
Yeah. I had no inclination getting on the mound. Much too close to the hitter.
You pitched growing up though, Ken?
Yeah, and Pony League.
Yeah.
And pitched in high school too a little bit.
Yeah. Any no hitters?
In Little League, yeah.
Yeah. That's ripped to left, a base hit. And Bethancourt is on. That'll send the tying run to the plate in the form of the man who took Andrew Miller deep last night. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
Yeah, Miller said the pitch that Upton Jr. hit for the home run last night was supposed to be away, but it kind of drifted towards the middle of the plate.
And Upton got all of it. 13 homers on the season as Miller falls behind 1-0. It was also the 3rd walk-off home run of the season for Upton Jr. That ties him for the most in Padres history. Not for 1 year, collectively in Padres history. 1-1. Good slider there from Miller.
In this day and age, that means a lot of Gatorade showers, huh?
Few laundry bills. The 1-1. Nice fastball over the outside corner as we take a look back to last night.
Yeah, this pitch is kind of centered. Oh, here's a good close-up look. Western Metal Supply Company, here it comes.
And Gatorade, here it comes.
They almost missed him, didn't they?
Yeah. But Miller ahead 1-2. Yankees trying to get out of San Diego with a win before heading to Chicago and then ending this 10-game road trip in Cleveland. Dropping 2 one-run games to begin this series. The 1-2. He got him. Vicious slider down and in. 2 down.
Yeah, that is Miller's signature pitch to a right-handed hitter. This ball's going to be diving for that back ankle. Over the top. This time Miller wins the battle. Swing and a miss for strike 3.
Two outs now, and Will Myers to the plate. Myers 1 for 3, a single. Another power threat who has been hot. The National League Player of the Month for the month of June. Ball 1. Two and up. Miller being very careful with Will Myers.
With 2 outs, Myers might have himself the green light here. Been one of the hottest hitters in baseball. Another decent hitter on deck in Matt Kemp. These are the 2 guys who drive in most of the runs for the Padres.
The 3-0 is pumped in there for a strike. The 3-1. Strike 2. Good slider.
Myers probably looking for the heater. Got a slider and a good one. Miller great control with 2 pitches.
2 out. Tying run at the plate. Bottom of the 8th. 3-2 pitch is inside, ball 4, and Myers is on to extend the inning.
On the other end of that phone is going to be Mike Harkey, Yankee bullpen coach, and we'll see if somebody's going to get up right. Yeah, they're moving around. And I can only think of one guy at this point, and there he comes. Aroldis Chapman.
The Yankees closer will start warming as Miller faces Matt Kemp. Kemp 1 for 3. Looks at ball 1. Miller has been behind every hitter. Yankees with the 3-1 lead. Go ahead, run at the plate. Two and up.
And his control has not been as good as we've seen it in the past.
and he has outstanding numbers in his life against Andrew Miller. 5 for 6. The 2-0. Good slider. 2-1.
Yeah, outfielders are playing fairly deep. They don't want a ball going over their head. They'll give up a single in front of them and let the runner from second base score. That would be Bethancourt. But they want Will Myers to stay on base for the rest of this inning.
A 2-1. Outside, 3-1. Yangervis Solarte on deck. He is 3 for 3 today. And you can see Andrew Miller giving himself a bit of a pep talk. The 3-1. Breaking ball over the outside corner for strike 2.
Seems like when Miller's needed a pitch, he's gone to the breaking ball. Kemp much in maybe in the same mode as Myers was, looking for a fastball. 3-1. That one hit the outside corner for a strike.
Now where does Miller go? 3-2. Runners will be on the move with 2 outs in the full count. The payoff. Grounded foul.
Went with a breaking ball.
Aroldis Chapman warming. You wonder if Miller loses Kemp, will it be Chapman who faces Solarte? It looked like Chapman was given the I'm about good to go. Miller doesn't want to see him in this inning. Two on, 2 out, bottom of the 8th. Yanks a 2-run lead. Grounded weakly to the right side. Teixeira ranges, flips, and Miller covers for the final out of the inning. Mark Teixeira went a long way, made the stop and the toss, and Miller strands 2. The Yankees' lead is still 2.
Miller makes a good pitch, breaks the bat of Kemp. Teixeira ranging far to his right. Man, what an excellent throw. He led Miller perfectly. Now watch Miller just quickly get off the mound, turn. He knows it's his job to be moving in that direction. takes to throw. That's part of being a pitcher. Once you release the ball, you become another infielder. Good play by Teixeira and Miller to get Matt Kemp and end the inning.
Betances and Miller both strand 2. Yankees lead by 2. Here's Alex Rodriguez pinch hitting. And looking at strike 1. New pitcher for San Diego's Kevin Quackenbush. See the numbers on Quackenbush. Rodriguez pinch hit, delivered a single in the 9th inning Friday night. Was talking with Alex before the game. He feels like, and he talked about this with Mark Feinsand, interesting article in the Daily News today as well. Feels like he found something working, Alan Cockrell and Marcus Timms mechanically, where he's about to go on a nice run. Good swing there.
Yeah, it was. It's amazing the energy of the ballpark he picks up when Alex Rodriguez comes to the plate. That pitch was kind of right there, and he found the back, had a good swing.
He has been working tirelessly in the cage, trying to get that swing right, and he said, don't worry, it's coming.
Let's go Yankee chant breaks out here.
The 1-2 to Rodriguez. Breaking ball, drilled down the right field line, foul. Nice catch by the fan with the glove. And the sweater tied around the neck.
Yet another satisfied customer here at Petco Park.
Woo.
Nice play.
Reaching out. He had an optical illusion in front of him, too, with that fan jumping right in front. 2-2. The 2-2. Foul back and out of play.
Just a hair late on that one, too. Another good pass. And we've seen a lot of balls headed towards right field in this series. Looked like they got a little boost. Now, Gregorius didn't need a boost. That was a line drive, but the Teixeira's, that one just carried and carried and carried right into the seats.
Even Teixeira didn't think that one was going off the bat, or at least appeared not to. The 2-2 to Rodriguez. Off the outside corner, 3-2. Good at bat here from A-Rod.
The Padres are thinking if A-Rod hits the ball in the air, he's going to hit it towards the right field side of second base. Melvin Upton Jr. A few steps towards right. The big gap is in left center field and down the left field line.
A 3-2 to Rodriguez. Fouled away. Already 8 pitches seen this at bat from Alex Rodriguez. Trying to get on to start the 9th with the Yankees holding a 3-1 lead. Jacoby Ellsbury on deck with 2 hits already. The payoff, grounded hard, but right at Myers. He will retire Rodriguez for the first out.
Looked like A-Rod was trying to go that way the whole at bat. Did hit it on the nose, but right at the first baseman.
Kenny, you said it right. There is just a different energy when Alex Rodriguez steps to the plate in a visiting ballpark.
Here's Jacoby Ellsbury looking at ball 1.
And that's not just recently. That's been for a long time.
Yeah. 19 seasons worth. Ellsbury went around 1-1.
Ellsbury, 2 hits yesterday, 2 hits today.
Yeah, 5 hits in the series. He's had himself a pretty good series here in San Diego.
Chapman getting ready to go. One and 2. Padres have really struggled in day games this year. 6 and 20.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to fathom why that happens, but you would figure over the long haul, which I mean, you know, 2 or 3 seasons, that would kind of even out a little bit more. But 6 and 20, that's kind of rough.
That might correlate with those numbers without Derek Norris in the lineup behind the plate.
Yeah.
Their starting catcher when he doesn't play being 2 and 17. The 2-2 count is full. Andy Green's team has threatened a few times late in this game. Chad Green, a key double play in the 5th, and Betances and Miller worked out of trouble in the 7th and 8th as Ellsbury is on here in the 9th.
And we're going to check out Quackenbush's ability to hold runners here. You notice every time Ellsbury's been on, he's been on quite a few times in this series. They've paid a lot of attention to it.
Brett Gardner had his first stolen base since June 7th. Ellsbury dives back. Ken, does it feel to you like the wind is a little more of a breeze right now?
Let's see here. Yeah, I'm looking at the flag out there. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah.
Ellsbury started and stopped.
Ellsbury did pick up a steal in the first game of the series. His 15th of the year.
Oh, 0-1 on Gardner. 1-1. Kevin Quackenbush actually grew up a Yankee fan. Grew up in Tampa and used to go to the Yankee spring training games. A lot of attention has been paid to Jacoby Ellsbury today.
Been on base 3 times.
Ooh, just off the corner, 2-1.
This would be a good pitch for him to go on. That was close.
Yeah.
Quackenbush doesn't want to go to 3-1. He goes. Gardner gets a good pitch. Put some wood on it, moves the ball around. You can see Ellsbury just turning on that speed around the bases. Nope.
Not going. Nope. Gardner fouls it back.
Padres have handed out 4 walks today. None of them have scored as of yet. But remember the opening night, I mentioned the fact that's been one of the problems for their pitchers. They've walked the 2nd most batters in the league.
Yeah.
Only the Cincinnati Reds have walked more.
There goes Ellsbury. The 2-2 is high. Ellsbury is in there. Second stolen base of the series and 16th of the year for Jacoby Ellsbury.
Yeah, he had the feeling he was going somewhere along the line. He picks up this steal pretty easily. Derek Norris. His throw is going to be way late and not really on the bag. So the pitch is high. Good pitch to throw on, and short. Ramirez had all he could do is come up with the throw.
Now a runner in scoring position for Gardner. Here's the 3-2. Lined into center field. It's a base hit. Ellsbury coming around. Upton's throw. Not in time. 4-1 Yankees.
That 90 feet paid off with the stolen base. Gardner delivers. And the Yankees now have a 3-run lead. Only mentioned none of the walks have scored. Now one of them has. Ellsbury walks, steals second. Gardner lines it over short into center field for the base hit. And Ellsbury with his speed. Melvin Upton Jr. has a pretty strong arm, and he makes a decent throw, but Ellsbury too quick and is able to score.
Here's Mark Teixeira, clubbed his 400th career home run his last time up. And drives this one deep to right. Kemp back, looking up. Goodbye, sir. Second home run of the game for Mark Teixeira, number 401.
Well, this home run by Teixeira is going to necessitate a change in plans in the Yankees pitching in the 9th inning. Chapman has sat down probably when that ball was hit. Anthony Swarzak is now warming up as the Yankees have taken the lead. Teixeira beginning to find his home run stroke. Maybe hitting number 400 was all he needed. He's only 99 away from 500 now.
What a contrast at the plate for Mark Teixeira from his first 3 at-bats, when he struck out every at-bat, looked overmatched, to his next 2 when he's gone yard both times.
Yankees with 3 runs here in the 9th inning to kind of blow this one open.
McCann laces that to center. And everything is being ripped off of Kevin Quackenbush.
This is kind of one of those chuck and duck varieties. McCann lines it back through the middle. Watch the reaction of the pitcher Quackenbush. Yeah, I don't want any part of that one.
I do see what you did there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the Yankees have added plenty of insurance. 1 in the 8th, 3 in the 9th, a 6-1 lead, and Andy Green has seen enough from Quackenbush. Six-1 Bombers as Quackenbush departs.
over drives of the game. Let's go to the 8th inning. Mark Teixeira. The Yankees are up 2-1. This one's going to carry. Deep to right field. His 6th home run, 400 of his career. They made it 3-1 game. And then in the 9th inning, a 2-run shot blew this game open. There was no doubt about this one. Number 401 on Mark Teixeira's career. Those are our Land Rover drives of the game.
Well, the Yankees have scored 6 runs. Go to papajohns.com tomorrow to receive 50% off the regular menu price of all pizzas online with promo code Yankees6. Big afternoon for Mark Teixeira. Jose Dominguez comes in for San Diego. You see his season at AAA El Paso. You know, Ken, the Yankees have been able to do today what they couldn't do yesterday, and what they failed to do at times, give a little breathing room to the back end of that bullpen.
Yeah. So much so that Chapman doesn't have to come in and pitch today.
That's right, which is potentially important looking ahead to tomorrow, because Miller and Betances have both been used each of the last 2 games.
At least let's say the Yankees are hoping he doesn't have to pitch.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Big swing from Castro, 97 miles an hour right by his bat. The 0-2. Punched foul.
Jose Dominguez from San Pedro de Macorís, Dominican Republic. That's where he had all those great shortstops. You get Tony Fernandez. Came out of that town. Great shortstop with the Blue Jays. He's in their Hall of Fame.
Tony, the Yankee shortstop before Derek Jeter. McCann leads off first. 1 out here in the 9th, 3 already in. This could be 2. High hop. Schimpf fields it and no play at first.
Tell me, the feed from Schimpf to Ramirez wasn't quite as clean as it would like. He kind of got up into his chest, and he couldn't make the relay. There's 1. There's 2. And no play as Castro beats the relay. And Schimpf had that ball get into him, and it kind of delayed things.
So another opportunity for Gregorius. 1 for 4, a solo homer that put the Yankees up 2-1. He also hit a laser right to Schimpf at second, nearly broke through his webbing, and reached on an error after an 11-pitch at bat that started the scoring in the second. Gregorius will step out. The 0-1. Broken bat, stays fair. That'll end the inning, but not before the Yankees add to their lead. Mark Teixeira with a 2-run shot. Bombers 6, Padres 1. Jones is back in the studio with highlights and a recap of this set in San Diego. Plus, Meredith Morakovitz has the clubhouse reaction. All that and more to come, only on Yes. You see the Marine recruits in formation just to the right of the lawn out in right center field. Sundays here, always military Sundays at Petco Park. It really is a gorgeous ballpark.
Yeah, it is. Just, we want to thank the crew here for their hospitality here in San Diego. I'm sure they appreciate the city that they live in. It's very beautiful. I mean, the harbor setting and ballpark just a few blocks away from the Pacific Ocean. And a lot of fans this weekend came out to see the Yankees. We mentioned the fact they don't come here very often. Just they've been here. They were here 3 years ago. Maybe the hospitality would have been a little bit better if the Yankees got at least 2 out of 3.
But 3 sellouts.
Yeah.
As Anthony Swarzak comes on to try and close out a 6-1 Yankee win. It would be a victory for Chad Green. And it would be his first big league victory in his 2nd career start. He was outstanding today.
Yeah,
6 innings, allowed just 3 hits. Solarte, red hot, his 4th hit of the game, cut off quickly by Hicks. And a single for Solarte to begin things here in the 9th. Hey, tomorrow afternoon, the Yankees hit the Windy City to take on the White Sox in a 4th of July showdown at U.S. Cellular Field. Start your game day at 1:30 with the Chevy pregame, then catch all the fireworks from Chicago right here on Yes, and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
And Solarte had one of those Remember Me afternoon. Yankee fans, of course, he came up with the Yankees and 4-hit double. A home run and 2 singles. All of them, well, I'd say at least 3 of the 4 hit well.
Yeah. Well cracked.
Yeah.
Here's Dickerson. Now, Ken, you mentioned this before. If you're Swarzak, you not only want to hold on to this win, you want to make sure Aroldis Chapman doesn't have to see this mound.
It doesn't even have to warm up. Again, he was throwing before. Now Chapman is walking around out there, and he has his glove with him and a baseball.
Probably won't take much to get hot, considering how long he was warming before.
Yep, he's going to the hill.
That skips away from McCann, ends up bouncing in front of him. Wild pitch, Solarte will advance.
Ball is going to look like it hit off the heel of the glove. Yeah, it did. Went straight up. McCann's looking for it. It hasn't even come down yet. There it is.
And there's Chapman warming it back up. Swarzak did a nice job Friday night. Threw an inning and 2/3 a shutout ball. Did not allow a base runner. Two-one. Fisted foul.
Yeah, got it on the hands. Good fastball. Swarzak, I've been impressed with his slider. He's got a pretty good one. High riding fastball up and in, and Dickerson fouls it back. You said Dickerson's a local guy, right?
Yes, he is. Poway High School, right nearby. The 2-2. Fouled straight back. Dickerson, his first career home run was a pinch hit grand slam against the Cubs. First player in Padres history to have his first career home run be a pinch hit grand slam. 3-2 now on Dickerson, and Swarzak does not want to lose him.
Now, this is not the inning to be putting men on base. I mean, as you look in the dugout, George Girardi not far away from that phone.
And we talked about the other night, Ken, but the bridge, there are roles to be had right now, spots to be won, impressions to be made for guys like Anthony Swarzak. Back three are obviously taken care of, but nobody has taken off and run with the roles leading into it. Here's the payoff. Drilled to right. That's not coming back. And now it's a save situation. Second career home run for Dickerson. Swarzak not doing the job. It's a 6-3 game.
Well, we talked about the good slider. This was not a good one. Looked like this one hung. And Dickerson took care of the rest. Yep, that one hung right there for him.
And Joe Girardi knows he has to use Aroldis Chapman, the closer, coming in next. With a win. Anthony Swarzak unable to get the job done, giving up a hit and then a home run. So Aroldis Chapman comes in to protect the 6-3 Yankees lead.
Well, the Yankees were hoping it wouldn't come to this, but it has, and now it's up to Chapman to pick up these final 3 outs and send the Yankees on their way to Chicago with a victory.
Here's Derek Norris, who's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Dylan Betances fanned him with 2 on in the 7th for the second out before getting Ryan Schimpf. Andrew Miller able to escape trouble in the 8th. Mark Teixeira, a couple of home runs late. Yankees added some insurance.
Now the Yankees have struck out 11 San Diego batters today and walked only 1. And it was all started by Chad Green with 8 strikeouts in 6 innings. Very impressive.
And great command of seemingly all of his pitches. Made 1 mistake to Yangervis Solarte. Hit out for a solo homer. As Chapman's ahead 0-2.
You know, I've heard John Flaherty speak of Chapman's mechanics.
Yeah.
And how he just gets everything into it and just straight down the hill right at home plate. And whoever taught him how to throw a baseball, I don't know if this is natural or not, but whoever taught them this delivery was right on the money. No wasted effort here.
The 0-2. Ooh. I think that caught the foot of McCann.
Here's a look. gathers himself, straight downhill right at home plate. No falling off to the side.
Chapman has a very broad upper body.
Yeah, he's strong.
The 1-2. That's smashed to center. Ellsbury there, though. 1 out. Adam Rosales.
Backup infielder. Remember him with the Oakland A's. Shortstop, second baseman. Plays a little first base now, too.
Pinch hitting for Ryan Schimpf. Schimpf, a left-handed hitter, who was 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts today. Rosales swinging first pitch, and Brian McCann has now taken a ball off the foot and a tip off the mask.
Did you ever do any catching, Ryan?
I did.
Did you like it?
Not those parts.
Yeah, well.
Might hit the chest protector, not the mask.
Yeah, the fact of being kind of in control of the game and having everybody in front of you, that's going to be a PowerPoint.
Oh, I like being in on every play. Changeup from Chapman.
Oh, wow, 88. Some guys' fastballs aren't 88.
That pitch, when he has broken it out over the last few years, has been remarkably effective. The numbers are crazy.
Everybody's geared up for the 100-mile-per-hour fastball. Another changeup.
Yeah.
Another one.
You know, I have to go back and get the exact numbers on it, Ken, but I believe the first year he broke it out, he was only hit out of the infield 3 times. Swing and a miss. No changeup there.
99. Well, this is what Chapman's noted for. The gas, the high octane, the cheese. Call it what you will. Rosales couldn't catch up with it.
Now the Padres down to their last out. Swing and a miss.
Slider.
Nasty.
Showing a little bit of everything.
Chapman trying to lock down his 16th save. The 0-1. Another changeup.
Yeah, he's feeling good with it today.
One from Chapman. And he's ahead 1-2 after the 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Chapman trying to send the Yankees to Chicago winners. A day game tomorrow afternoon on the 4th of July.
Quick turnaround.
Big day for Teixeira with 2 home runs, including his 400th. The Yankee fans in attendance on their feet. Rolled left side to Reyes. Ball game. Yankees win it 6-3.